In a world ablaze with ceaseless clamor, where voices, distractions swarm, a weaver of wisdom sings a quiet anthem, essentialism. Live not by default, but by design. To pause, to choose, to carve a path where less is not loss but liberation. To let the trivial fade like morning mist. You cannot overestimate the unimportance of practically everything. Essentialism is a dance of three steps: explore, eliminate, and execute. Explore like a wanderer, seeking the North Star, finding space to dream, to rest, to play. Eliminate with the courage of a sculpture, chiseling away superfluous stone. Half the troubles of this life are traced to saying yes too quickly and not saying no soon enough. Execute with the rhythm of small steps, building paths where the essential flows free. Sometimes what you don't do is just as important as what you do. A tapestry woven with threads of truth. What if we stopped celebrating being busy and celebrated time spent listening, pondering, loving those who matters most? Essentialism could light the way, teaching to wield the 90% rule, to say no with grace, to build lives where a life organized around what is essential brings extraordinary results. The way of the essentialist means living by design, not by default. Cast off the chains of non essential, embrace the joy of missing out, and weave a life not merely full but radiant with purpose. Yet, our schools, colleges, universities, the citadels of knowledge, build towers of equations and tomes, while the art of living lies buried beneath. John Dewey, with a poet's heart, pleaded for learning that breeds not just facts but the courage to choose. Relentless noise, endless notifications, overflowing inboxes, and seductive pull of thousand opportunities. Greg McKeown, a British-born thinker, forged in the halls of Stanford and quiet reflections of fatherhood, offers a beacon of clarity. His philosophy, essentialism, the disciplined pursuit of less, is not a call to do more, but a gentle yet fierce invitation to do better, to live by design, not by default. If you don't prioritize your life, he warns, someone else will. And so he urges us to choose, to discern, to carve out space for what truly matters. Picture a life where every decision is an action, not a reaction. We often think of choice as the thing. McKeown writes, but a choice is not a thing. A choice is an action. This truth, born from his own regret, missing his daughter's birth for a fleeting work meeting, became the heartbeat of essentialism. It's a philosophy that echoes the wisdom of ancient thinkers like Plato, who dreamed of an education that nurtured not just the mind but the soul, teaching us to discern the good and the just. Aristotle, too, would nod in agreement, his concept of phronesis, practical wisdom, mirroring McKeown's call to focus on the vital few over the trivial many. You cannot overestimate the unimportance of practically everything. McKeown declares a modern stoic reminder to let go of what doesn't serve a purpose. Essentialism is a rebellion against the tyranny of busyness in a culture that celebrates packed schedules as a badge of importance. McKeown's framework, Explore, Eliminate, Execute, offers a path forward. To explore is to create space for clarity, to discern what is truly essential through reflection, rest, and play. To eliminate is to summon the courage to say no, for as McKeown reminds us, half of the troubles of this life can be traced to saying yes too quickly and not saying no soon enough. To execute is to build routines that make the essential effortless, starting small to achieve extraordinary results. A life organized around the question, what is essential, eliminates all the non-essential activities that bring extraordinary results. He writes, sentiment that resonates with Peter Drucker's call to abandon low-value tasks and Carl Newport's advocacy for deep, focused work. Yet, As McKeown's ideas ripple through boardrooms and living rooms, a question lingers. Why do our schools and universities, those crucibles of young minds, cling so tightly to academic rigor while neglecting the art of living well? Plato and Rousseau would argue that education should cultivate self-knowledge and resilience, not just credentials. Alfie Kohn and Dewey echoes this, decrying systems that prioritize grades over purpose, leaving graduates skilled in theory but adrift in practice. Essentialism's principles, prioritization, discernment, alignment with purpose, could bridge this gap, teaching students to navigate a world of indefinite demands with clarity and grace. Clarity equals success, he asserts, a truth that could transform classrooms into sanctuaries of intentional living. The voices of history and modernity converge in this call to focus, from Seneca's stoic wisdom to Marie Kondo's minimalist simplicity, from Covey's time matrix to Newport's deep work. Essentialism draws on the rich tapestry of thought. It's a philosophy that whispers of freedom, the joy of missing out on trivial to embrace the essential. Sometimes what you don't do is just as important as what you do. McKeown reminds us a mantra for the generation overwhelmed by choice. We need a choice through which we can craft a life that is not just full but fulfilled. McKeown, the primary proponent of essentialism. His book, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less, is divided into 4 parts. Part 1, Essence. Part 2, Explore. Part 3, Eliminate. And Part 4, Execute. Each part builds on previous one, providing a framework for adopting essentialism in real life. Beginning with Part 1, the section introduces the foundational principles of essentialism, emphasizing the mindset shift required to live an essential life. The 3 core truths of essentialism are choice, discernment, and trade-off. Trade-off, that is, every decision involves a trade-off. Saying yes to one thing means saying no to something else. The problem of non-essentialism. He describes how societal pressures such as expectations to do it all lead to overcommitment and burnout. Non-essentialists fall into traps like saying yes to every request, chasing opportunities without evaluating their value, and prioritizing urgent tasks over important ones. The result is life of stress, mediocrity, and lack of progress on meaningful goals. By focusing on the vital few, essentialists achieve greater impact with less effort. Part 2, that is Explore. This section focuses on how to identify what is truly essential through exploration, reflection, and deliberate decision making. He talks of the following principles. Create space for thinking and reflection. Practice extreme discernment by asking questions like what is most important right now? What will have greatest long-term impact? Embrace play as a way to spark creativity and uncover what matters. Prioritize rest, protect your mental and physical energy. Use strict criteria to evaluate opportunities. Part 3, Eliminate. Define clear boundaries. Saying no is a skill that requires practice and courage. Let go of existing commitments that no longer serve. Treat life like an editor treats a manuscript. Cut out anything that doesn't add value. This applies to possessions, relationships, and tasks. Set boundaries to protect your time and energy. Part 4, that is Execute. This section provides practical strategies for implementing essentialism in daily life and ensuring long-term success. Build buffers into your schedule to account for unexpected events. Identify and remove obstacles that hinder progress. This means simplifying processes, reducing clutter, or eliminating distractions. Focus on small, consistent wins rather than perfection. Create routines and systems to make essentialism effortless. Be live in the present moment and focus on what you can control now. This mindfulness helps essentialists stay aligned with their priorities. For those feeling overwhelmed, stretched thin, essentialism offers a roadmap to clarity and effectiveness. Its core message, less but better, resonates as a timeless principle for achieving meaningful results in an increasingly complex world. A world that hums with frenzied calls, where screen flash bright and chaos sprawls. I turn away from the clamor's din and find the joy where less begins. No more the race to seize it all, the endless scroll, the urgent thrall. I miss the noise, the fleeting chase, and carve instead a sacred space. Sometimes what you don't do, he said, is just as vital as paths you tread. McKeown's whisper, a guiding star, points to the truth of who we are. The joy of missing out unfolds in quiet moments, in stories untold. A walk through dawn's soft, golden hue, a heart unburdened, a life made true. No crowded calendars, no fleeting yes, to tasks that pulls from what matters best. Half the troubles of life, he wrote, are born of haste, of thoughtless oath. I say no with a sculpture's grace, chiseling clear my soul's true face. The world may beacon, may clamor, may plead, but I choose the bloom, not the choking weed. Let others chase the fleeting spark, the hollow hum of the trending mark. I miss the fray, the restless flight, and bask in clarity's gentle light. What if we ceased, he dared to dream, to worship busy's relentless stream, and celebrated time with those we hold, in laughter shared, in love retold. The joy of missing out is mine, a life by design, a choice divine. No chains of more to bind my days, just paths where purpose softly sways. In stillness, I find what chaos denies, the spark of truth in a wanderer's eye. A life around what is essential grows, McKeown proclaims, and my heart knows. For in the quiet, I am free. The joy of missing out lives in me. Essentialism, a philosophy everyone should know and explore. Sometimes, what you don't do is just as important as what you do. The idea that elimination is as critical as action. Essentialism is not about how to get more things done. It's about how to get the right things done.